Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. In this video, I'm going to talk about Loropetalum, or Chinese Fringe Flowers, as some people call them. They're hardy in zone 7 to 10, and if you live in zone 7 to 10, you almost certainly see these purple foliage plants all over the place. They can have green foliage or purple foliage or some combination of green and purple or burgundy foliage, and then pink flowers or red flowers. I'll go through some of the varieties here in a minute. I'm actually going to plant this purple Pixie Loropetalum in this container right here in my front yard today, and show you how I go about that. But this one's kind of the most amazing one of all to me, considering it weeps down over the container. And when I started in this business, Loropetalum varieties almost all got 20 feet tall. It might say 12 feet on the label, but those things grew so fast. There's a variety called Burgundy, and there was one called Blush, and then there were just the regular green variety with the white flowers. And those things just grew like crazy. Some people are scared of Loropetalum to this day because, you could prune them on Saturday and be backing out of your driveway on Monday and the thing's already, feels like it's recovered already. But these new varieties are great ornamental landscape plants that require little or no maintenance if you pick the right variety. This purple Pixie one is going to weep over the container, and I'm going to show you a few more before I container plant this purple Pixie. I'm going to start by talking about foliage changes that we've had over time. Almost all the original varieties that had the burgundy foliage or the purple foliage had green foliage as it matured. It changed to green, and it's just really the new foliage that has that coloration on it. This variety is called Ruby. It can get 6 to 8 feet. I had one that got almost 10 at the nursery where I never pruned it. But easy to keep this variety between 4 and 6 feet without a lot of problems. It blooms with pink flowers in the spring and then frequently again in the fall. That's true with most Loropetalum. They bloom on temperature change, so you usually get a repeat blooming later on. But you can see right here, this one right next to it is called Purple Diamond. And you can see the difference in the foliage color. Purple Diamond is a Southern Living Plant Collection variety. I'm going to show you several from the Southern Living Plant Collection. And Purple Diamond gets to pink flowers, same as the other varieties. This one can easily be kept in the 4 foot to 6 foot range, no problem at all. About the same, similar growth to Ruby on that one. Then from there, through breeding, we now have red flowering varieties. This is Red Diamond right here. It can get 6 by 6, little more of a vigorous grower than Purple Diamond, but the red flowers are beautiful, and these sell probably the quickest of any of them. When they're blooming, that red is so striking. The next one right here is called Emerald Snow. And this is one of the most amazing varieties to me because the original green Loropetalum varieties got 25 feet tall. I had a landscape customer back when I was landscaping that had a tunnel through one in her yard in Raleigh, and it was quite beautiful. This variety will only get in the 3 to 4 foot range, and it gets the white flowers, which are incredibly striking. A lot of people would take, the pink or the red flowers, if you just in conversation, if I told you I had them in white or pink or red, people would pick pink or red quickly. This one is, when it's in full bloom, it's almost finished its spring blooming right now, but when it was in full bloom, it's almost solid white. It may be the showiest in flower. Of course, the other purple varieties offer some longer term color with the purple foliage. So I showed you ones that can get 6 or 8 feet tall, and then that Emerald Snow only gets 3 to 4 feet. This one right here is called Purple Daydream, and I put it in this container, this little container planting I have here. It only gets 2 to 3 feet in height. Really, really stunning plant right there, and really a game changer. You can plant this on a low foundation. So many houses are being built on slab now. This is just a great choice for that if you live in zone 7 to 10. Then of course the ultimate one is the weeping Purple Pixie Loropetalum that can stay less than 2 feet in height and will actually weep down over this container. Okay, I'm going to container plant this and I'm going to sink this container a little bit. This container does have a hole in it. That's important on any container that you're picking. You either need to have a hole in it or be able to put a hole in it. A lot of people put gravel in the bottom of their containers. It doesn't really do a whole lot. There's just a little bit of science, some science involved there that that potting soil will stay wet and wick water upward, and it doesn't really work all that well. But I am going to bury this container a little bit, and so I am concerned about how water would ever escape that hole in the bottom. So I'm actually going to put some gravel underneath it. I'm going to dig out a little cup, set this container down in it level after I put maybe 3 inches of gravel directly underneath it. And I'm also going to go ahead and run a drip tube up in it. I'm about to run drip around all these shrubs here, and I'm going to go ahead and put a drip tube in it so it will be ready for automated irrigation later. So you can see the hole in the middle of my container. I dug this hole underneath it here, which is, I guess, probably about 12 inches deep. It's not real wide, it's just to have this gravel reservoir. I'm going to have that drip tube come out of the bottom of that container, kind of run through that gravel, and I built a little place right here so that it could just come out easily through there so it doesn't end up pinching. That would be real important. We wouldn't want to put any kind of serious angles on this pipe or it will pinch very easily and water won't be able to get to our plant. So you can see this drip tube is in here, gravel below the pot, and I can still move this back and forth. So it's not, it's definitely free to slide. It's not pinched in any way. This side over here will hook onto my system. This side will get 1 or 2 drip emitters in here to keep this purple Pixie Loropetalum well watered. I'm going to use a potting soil that is a little bit chunky. I don't like to use a lot of peat moss when I'm planting shrubs in containers. Peat moss will keep them a little too wet. So I am using a potting soil that has some peat moss in it, but I'm mixing some pine bark soil conditioner in with it. If that's unavailable to you, you could probably mix some additional perlite in it. That's the little white stuff that's in your potting soil. You can just up the amount of that, and that will create some additional air pockets in there because, like I say, peat-based potting soils can keep your shrubs too wet, especially if you're watering them the same as everything else in the area. You can end up overdoing it for sure. So quick and easy, I'm just going to take this out of the container. Be careful when transplanting Loropetalums. They can be a little bit fragile actually when you first buy them. So typically we'll pick them up, flip them over like that, and actually support the plant by the roots, and don't do any pulling on the top of a Loropetalum like that. And set him in there. He's actually already the proper depth, and I'll just tuck my potting soil around the outside of it, and there's my drip tube ready to water it. So I got it planted in this low bowl and with drip irrigation ready and gravel underneath it, so hopefully there's some sort of reservoir if I do end up over watering here, that it won't just be sitting on solid soil, you know, plugged up. It will have a little reservoir underneath it to run out. Will it help? I don't know. It makes me feel better about it anyway. So I hope you enjoy these type of videos where I do some comparison of plants. It really has kind of amazed me over 30 years in this business how you can take something that got 25 feet tall and shrink it down to where it will weep over this container down to the ground. And Loropetalum's always been great. It's just a great plant for the landscape because it's deer resistant. It's kind of insect proof. It's honestly just kind of foolproof as long as you put it in the sun or, you know, gets at least a half a day of sun or more. They're really kind of super easy, you know, low maintenance plants. It's just that at one time they could, you know, kind of get out of control on you, but not anymore. Southern Living Plant Collection has several varieties, 5 I think, that are all more friendly to modern landscapes and the way houses are built and the way neighborhoods are constructed now, and having lower foundations and all those kinds of things. There's definitely one for you. So thank you very much for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for future videos.